subscribe, or share any of Media Maker TV content to show your support. Happy Saturday morning to you all globally. It's your favorite audio podcaster, me, Whitney, and we're happy to have you back with your support here over at Media Maker TV, where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics. We're happy to have you guys back. Um, I'm just going to start out with the disclaimer, just like, look, everything I state on any of my topics are my live reaction commentary and insight to real, raw, and sometimes relatable topics, because not everything I cover is relatable. Not everything I've been through will be relatable to others. So, um, it's just crazy. So I came across this story because there's millions of them on the news right now, trust me, every day. But do we ever take the time to like thank the news sometimes for some of these stories? Because I think in the age of information and knowledge and misinformation too, you know what I mean? Uh, it's still great that I can find a place to appreciate, news media outlets and platforms that cover stories, you know what I'm saying? That really at the end of the day, people have a whole choice because we see people do it. People try to cover up the truth, or they may not look at it as that, but it's like when you give other things exposure over other things, I don't know, what do you call it? And with some of these stories, I'm just trying to get my point across. It's like you kind of need them to come out. When we first thought of the news, we thought it's a great thing because you're being informed of everything you should be aware of, especially when it comes to threatening the safety, environment, and well-beings of people in your community. So just taking the time to thank the news media outlet, whoever they were in Philly, all the ones that took the time to share this particular story. Because I don't know why. It's just like I'm remembering they really didn't have to. Let me turn off this speaker so maybe my volume is better on it. 1 second, guys. But yeah, I'm just thankful for media outlets that share certain stories. Like this one, I feel like deserved it though, because that's just crazy to find the neighbors or whatever, the people who reported or I guess requested a well check to the man's house. They said it was just flies everywhere, maybe for days. And why isn't that informative news to the public? I mean, now somebody that might not have known that before knows. If you see a bunch of flies somewhere, call in for real. Because I think they said this was a pattern of like days. They saw it for a while before some kind of check into what might have been going over there. I mean, they didn't find this. This is just crazy. I know some of these crime scene stories, they find bodies and things like this, but this was just straight dug up remains. Dug up. Do we know dug up means? Like the people were already buried, not bothering anybody, have already done what they can do in life, and now they're no longer living their life because they're in the graveyards and everything. And then it's like, this is not even the crazier part. I was just trying to get some details about the story from what I was reading about it. But what's crazy is I went to Google to try to find the story or whatever, because this one right here is out of Philadelphia. For anybody else that might like look it up or whatever, but it is on the news. And it's like, when I go look the story up on Google, I don't know what shocked me more, this story in itself, or that there were like many other stories of the same stuff, like people just being busted, literally busted for busted with like people's remains in their house. And this is just crazy, bro. Talk about people trying to normalize crime. I understand it, and I do agree that they are trying to normalize certain crimes on a certain level. But with me though, it's like the type of things, if people, they could say, well, I didn't know about it. I didn't say nothing about it at all. It's still, you know what I'm saying, innocently a part of the problem because, it all trickles back down. That's why I started the live saying I'm thankful for the news stories for certain stories. You know, I mean, do we thank them enough? Because, like, they could have just arrested that man. By the way, the update is like he's in jail with like a $1 million bond or something like this. But had they not reported this, I don't know. Would people have known about it? Because we know his neighbors and stuff did. They the ones called. And the neighbor that was on the news was saying, he said it made sense. They just saw flies around here. It's just a crazy story. It's crazy. My reaction is number one, thank you to the news stories in Philadelphia that covered that and any other news stories that did. Because that's crazy. Thank you to the police chief out there for coming and giving a public statement to the people. But they probably can only say so much. I'm just saying, as a regular citizen out here, my opinion is that's just crazy that it's being more normalized. That I went to Google and there's actually like 20 other stories just from last year alone, 2025. It's like 20 other stories of people being found with whole remains, like collections of bones and human remains and stuff in their house. I guess when they looked into it, they saw that this man had actually went and stole them. You see what I'm saying? Out of graveyard sites. It's just sad. Because I never thought the day would come or, that I would be saying this, but I pray for the dead more than people think. And you got a lot of religious people that might not agree with what I just said or that I even do that. I didn't say I pray to the dead. I didn't say I pray with the dead. What I said is I pray for the dead. It was like a whole nother level of maturity of myself, even if I don't talk to people about it. Because once you see some of these stories, and my eyes were open that the kind of abuse that those that have crossed over have probably suffered. And I know it's not new, even if I'm just like finding out about it. It's just crazy because maybe these people, they are not in their mind to go dig up. I don't care what excuse you give the police. Like, what excuse is there? You just going out there bothering people that have already finished their life, and some of them probably died unjustly. And it's like, how much karma are you asking for if a person leave here unjustly, but you still got to go out there to the graveyard and dig up their remains? Like, how are they resting in peace? You know what? It's been a lot of TikTok stories, like just a lot of controversial, viral talk, where people was like, my sleep patterns seem to be off, and I haven't been getting much rest, or the days seem shorter, or time seems to be going by quicker. Like, how many people have you heard this say this? Just in the past 5 years, like any of the mentioned comments. I know I heard of one. A lot of people agree that time has begun to speed up or something. Like it seems like it. Like you look up, the whole day gone. To some of us, it's really not funny. I was just trying to give like an insight of what I mean. And people think these are coincidences. I'm not saying I'm right about everything, but I would say these are telltale signs. Yes, and I don't like when people try to like. I just feel like sometimes people use the Bible and certain scriptures to like mask this type of stuff. Like there's a scripture that says, "Let the dead bury the dead." You see, but literally every culture has some. What I ended up finding out. I'm not trying to debunk the Bible. No, I feel like there is revelation that we have to get or clarity. I wouldn't care where you get information from. Because if you read it just one way, you might think it mean a whole other thing. But anyways, or I'm trying to think of another scripture about the dead. It was one I was thinking about specifically, like uh I know it said let the dead bury the dead. It's another one. But I just can't figure out why people think it's okay. Why would you ever think that's okay? Like there wouldn't be any type of possibility of something happening. Maybe because people got away. Oh, people been doing that for generations. They've been doing that for years. Okay. And just because something went on for so long doesn't mean that's not God giving his grace, mercy, sovereignty, giving his warnings and everything. Like, don't think God does not care about the dead because the Bible says, let the dead bury the dead. Like, why would you think that? Yes, the same God that said, thou shalt not kill, why would he not care about the dead? He still know people go around here doing it, and that people are dying injustly. They're dying before their time, all that kind of stuff. So we got that part out the way. We know everybody has to die. It's like there's morons running around here with the mindset that, well, since everybody has to die anyway, why does it matter whose remains I get or who I, it's weird, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because, you can have, there's some people that have their own obsessions with death or their love for death or the grim reaper, whatever they want to call it. But why are you taking it? You do not love death. You do not respect death. Like, you can wear as much black as you want to and talk about God, and you do not respect the dead if they can't rest in peace, baby. They have already did everything they could do while they was alive. That's the point of, the meaning of somebody being dead. Like, they're not here anymore. And it's like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why you can't leave them alone. Their remains, their grave site, their grave spot, and everything after that. They're not here anymore. I don't understand it. But even the cop that gave his statement on TV, he was just like, and my heart goes out to him because that couldn't have been easy to like discover. Maybe they thought they would find like just corpse or bodies, which that's awful too. But he said some of those remains that they found were like centuries. They literally said the word centuries on the news. Centuries years old. That's crazy. You know? Like secondhand embarrassment or something that we still have people walking around here going to graveside, whether they do it in secret, it doesn't matter. And that's my next thing. That's my next thing with this topic. Like, when do we up security or something at these grave sites? Because people are crazy, apparently. It don't be no cameras out there at these places or security guards on shift, or maybe when they're there at shift, they're just asleep because they do call it the graveyard shift. That's where that term came from, I guess. Graveyard shift. But just imagine working a graveyard shift at a graveyard. And I thought they do be having people work shifts out there, but it's just too many stories of these people robbing graves. I guess they just think, oh well, as long as I don't get caught. No, obviously, if you pay attention to the news, people are getting caught, and you don't you don't want to feel the shame when you get caught. You should feel the shame when you're sitting up there digging up somebody's remains. It's just crazy, bro. And they can't say stop. They can't say don't do this. Like, they can from the other side, as we know. I do believe people be trying to communicate from the other side. That's why I have a whole new mind, heart, spirit about a whole lot. Like, you know what, God, if the living can't appreciate our prayers or they don't want them, I can't pray for the dead because some of the people that's dead still have people here. And when you're praying for them, how are you not praying for the ones they're attached to? Or how are you not praying for their future generations? Like, I mean, this is just really deep to me. Like, because why can't they rest in peace? Or how do we know they're not trying to communicate that that's all they would like to do? Got people living, fighting for peace, still just fighting for peace in their own life. We ain't talking about for their country, for their city, for their community yet. They're just fighting for their peace. But imagine being dead, fighting for your peace. Just imagine. And then it made my mind go a little deeper, like, well, how many people are truly still suffering from the grave? They need to up security or something at these. I'm just giving my opinion. We can fund ICE projects and all these other programs, Alligator, Alcatraz. Why can't we fund more assistance and security at these grave sites though? or think of something, the whole business or what they call a business needs to be looked. I can't even find the words. Needs to be looked into. To me, what business am I talking about? Anything revolving the dead, because it's like it's some new trend or some new mentality that, well, they're dead, nobody cares. If they don't show you how people look at us when we're alive, like you're willing to abuse courts, you're willing to abuse the dead, you're willing to go out there and dig up their remains, because that's what this man is in jail for. They say they found 100 different. I mean, I guess the remains to like 100 different people. It's just hard, kind of crazy to process. But maybe me praying for the dead, I'm gonna say what I feel real quick, because I have. That don't mean I'm just praying for the dead in one state, this state, that city, that country. When I say the dead, the dead. I never know what spiritual battle the dead is fighting, right? But it might be a blessing that somebody alive cares and says, hey, I'm gonna pray for the dead. Even if people around them call them crazy. That ain't something I would do publicly anyway. I mean, unless I'm asked to. Is it really real if I'm trying to let everybody know I'm doing it? I'm only mentioning it right now due to this topic. But I do that in secret. Like I don't mind using a second of my living breath to pray for the dead, even if another person don't understand it right now. I say right now because I believe we all catch on to whatever we're supposed to catch on to. That's our destinies, that's our purpose, or maybe some people never see it the way you do. But it don't have to be somebody I loved either. I just been praying for the dead for whatever reason my spirit has led me to. I'm not ever want to be considered an enemy of the dead, or and I don't think they look at me as one. They know a lot of people know right now while I'm alive I wouldn't hurt a fly. It just that's why they literally have to try to get you to react and bait you into doing things. You wouldn't have to do that to a person that's already quick tempered. I don't care what nobody say. Or if you know a person's already quick tempered, because I'm saying these are things that could prevent death every day. Why would you just sit there and you know what I'm saying? Antagonize them over and over and over and over and over. I don't care what special name you put on it, behind it, on the side of it. When we really talk about it, just those little extra things that could actually prevent senseless deaths every day. Because it's not like people have learned to respect the dead yet. Like I said, to me, it's like a secondhand embarrassment that the living should feel. That we're not doing more about security at graveyard sites. Because back to what I was saying, when I went to Google, I couldn't believe that there had been more stories, a whole lot more stories coming out here lately of people being caught digging up things in the graveyard. Like, what are you doing out there? What are you doing? Like, how far is your mind gone? And you using your living breath to go out there, especially if you're not in the law enforcement field or nothing, but them too. Everybody can be checked. What everybody needs to be questioned when you catch them out there. If they don't have special clearance or something they can really, really prove while you out there digging up something, that all that needs to be checked. I'm talking about us checking ourselves as mankind again about no matter what culture you are. Because there is some cultures out there I respect. Just I look at it in a way. They take death very serious, like down to the rituals, down to the prayers, down to the burial. Uh, you know, everybody has different burial. What's the word I'm looking for? Like ways that they handle death. Because I think grief is the same for all of us, pain, stuff like that when we lose somebody. But I'm talking about the actual ceremonies and how people lay their people to rest in different cultures across the globe has always been different. We all know the Egyptians and a certain way they might have used to do it, or Asians and how they might lay people to rest, right? Like grief and pain is going to be pretty much it's feel the same to everybody when it's somebody they cared about. But the cultures actually all have a different way, that they approach what they call like, okay, let's help this person transition, I guess, into the afterlife. Like now they're lifeless. They might have a ceremony or a certain thing that they do, you know. I guess in America we just call them funerals. Like And there's a special way people usually handle it. But I'm talking about, let's go a step further than that. So you're gonna have the funeral. These people is in a graves. I just can't stomach that. Like, what do you need to go out there and dig up remains for? Even if you miss the person, whatever's going on, you can go seek help. You are not helping that person. A lot of these people that's gone, people would be surprised to know if they had the option to come back here, they probably wouldn't choose it. Like, everybody is not trying to be uh bound to the purposes people want them to be, and they have already passed on. So you just gonna go take it upon yourself and take their skull, take their bones, take whatever you want at the gravesite. I don't understand that, or why this is not being talked about more. And is security gonna be up? I asked the same questions about the schools. We got money for ICE, we got money for all these other projects, and it's like we need more security at the schools, don't we? I'm not saying I'm against or for the ICE agents. What I'm saying is we have money to fund that kind of stuff. I guess this is coming down to priorities, but the dead and grave sites and schools, in my opinion, both deserve high level security if we are seeing that people do not respect the security that it should have. School has never been a place that you have to have top notch, high level security just so the kids are safe there. Okay, but I know this is two separate places that I'm mentioning, but grave sites, how is that not like? Maybe I'm just saying what it really is like. Baby, after people are gone, people really don't care no more. We're not saying that's everybody's mentality, but it's just crazy, bro. Like, for what I was saying on Google, how many stories have actually been exposed lately? Uh, let's just say in the past 5 years, people being caught, whether it's with the remains in their house, like some Jeffrey Dahmer type stuff, or being actually caught hanging out in the graveyards and actually tampering with people. Because I feel like compared to the stories they've caught, there has to be way more people involved with that type of activity. If these is just the people you caught, and it's like 100 different stories, well, how many people are doing it and why? That's all. And I hope the news and police keep exposing these because, baby, all of us are not trying to be a part of some type of karma because people couldn't learn to leave the dead alone. All of us are not trying to be a part of that type of karma. What do you mean? But like I said, I gave those examples. Notice how lately people be like, time seems to be going by faster. The days seem to be getting shorter. Uh, uh, I seem to be getting less sleep. It's many people across the globe saying that too. Like their sleep patterns seem to be out. Well, if we really care, let's look at these stories a little deeper. Literally, we might say, well, we can't change everything in the world. If people are playing, no, that's something everybody should be concerned about. Whether it's your family member, the next person's family member, everybody out there in them grave sites knew somebody, had a mother, had a father, had a family, everybody out there in them grave sites. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I need to communicate this for the dead or something. Like, bro, they have already lived their lives. And some died unjustly, like I said, some didn't. But literally, they have already crossed over, bro. Like, why would you put more agony, more pain, more stress, digging him up, taking him through more stuff for your own selfish reasons? And people are already seeing like pattern climate changes and stuff like this. Like, time going by faster, UFOs, and we're just supposed to be like, oh, I wonder why all this has happened. Some blame it on geoengineering, others say it's you hear all kind of different theories about why people think. But one thing's for sure, a lot of people do agree. Stuff like the sun is going down faster. Daylight saving time seems to be stealing more and more time every year. Like, how do you explain these things? And then you have more and more people saying that they feel like the same thing is happening. Now, I'm not saying I feel like I know what it is, but you're really, really going. I wouldn't care if you got away with it for centuries. You need to leave the dead alone. That's crazy. I mean, what cultures? have not gotten this through their head yet. Because I bet you Egyptians, they know. Go over there and try to tell them, uh, dig up somebody and see how they look at you. Like, I'm not saying they probably don't do it over there, because Egypt is very well prevalent of people stealing out of graves, but it's more known, they would do it to people they knew had money. And I mean physically, because some cultures they actually bury treasures with, for those that weren't aware, the corpse. They might bury some of their most valued jewels, and oh my God, I've already researched it. You know how many tombs and stuff they found mummies missing, uh, and their jewelry and stuff missing out of. I did research about that because, and I didn't know why it occurred, but I was just like, I just don't respect it. Like, why would people go do that? You're another type of bold or brave. Seriously. Especially doing it to Egyptian tombs. I'm sure the ones that was doing it over there definitely found out, because they do rituals and prayers over the people, over those mummies. They were doing rituals and prayers over there, exactly for thieves. I'm not saying it was for the thieves. I'm saying they knew if somebody touched this ancestor grave, uh, it's not going to be good for them. See, and then just like me, I don't have to know the people that's buried, but I said I was praying for them. I said what I said. All of them out there. Because we never know what people are doing in society, what they're planning, what's on their mind, and how far they're willing to go. So I pray for the dead sometimes. I promise I do. And I just never know which one of those prayers reached God's throne for like somebody that might have been passed over that needed it. Like, because somebody's sitting there messing with their grave all the time. This is crazy. This is just crazy. It's not one of them things I want to sit back and see normalized. No, it should forever be not okay for people to be digging in people's graves. Like, come on, bro. Like, really, take a second to think about that. How are you allowing somebody to rest in peace? You look you look guilty about not letting people live in peace when they can't rest in peace. Let me say it like that. You know it ain't too many people living in peace when man think they can take their hands and steal your peace when you're dead too. Come on, man. This is deep. Or maybe it's deep for me because it's very odd. It's very, and I pray now, God, when I'm gone, I'm not trying to scare nobody. Just please don't try that with my remains, bro, because I've already prayed about it. Seeing the news stories of what people be doing to people remains right now, and yes, they locked that man up. They locked that man up, and they trying to find the family members of who all those remains belong to. And I thought that was positive to hear, on the behalf of whatever Philadelphia Police Department that is. They said they know they're up for a challenge. It's going to be some work because some of those remains, like I said, were generations or centuries old. So this is crazy. And I'm grateful they're showing it on the news. I'm just giving my opinion. We want to like, what's that word? I don't know. Give more attention to certain stories on the news. This type of stuff matters. Yes, boo boo. Okay. I'll get it for you. But yeah, I just had to give my commentary and reaction. Like, it's one thing to speak on it openly, but like I said, before I even spoke on this topic, that's just something I do. You can call it, I don't have to have a religion to have an intent of positive thoughts and prayer for somebody, even if they're dead. Trust me, I'm totally opposite from the grave diggers. I'm more praying. I'm praying for people before we reach our graves, and I'm also praying for the ones that's there. It's a scripture also that talk about in the last days the dead. It says something like the dead shall arise in Christ. I just like to think deeply, or what's the word, meditate on scriptures like that, because who knows what it means. And I don't want to look like a know-it-all. Yeah, it literally says the dead shall arise in Christ one day. Like they just resting. And I don't know. I'm not God. I can't tell God what to do. I don't know what's coming. But it's older people to just think they can abuse the dead and continue to use the excuse that, well, people have been doing it. We've been getting, no. say it correctly. No, people have been getting away with it. Don't just say they've been doing it like it's right. Like that makes it excusable. I noticed they're doing the same thing with a lot of these sex trafficking allegation uh alleged predators and stuff. They'd be like, well, it's been going on. People been doing it. Okay, that doesn't excuse it. No, what you need to say is people have been getting away with it, which is a whole fact. With certain crimes, certain major crimes, it's the truth. Like people have been getting away with it, but that doesn't mean that people, everybody will. See, don't be deceived. Don't let the devil deceive you. But it's just crazy. I think people think they have power over death, and they think they have power over the graves. I mean, man just want power over everything, but it's still will forever be an illusion. How you want control over a soul that's not here no more? Like, how do you want control over bodies and corpses that can't even fight you back? How? That's them type of people need counseling, bro. They need therapy, something. It's just my opinion, you know. It's just like hurts my heart for some reason to know that a lot of these people haven't even been rested in peace. They be like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. Y'all gonna find out. No, that's not true with the dead. They might be out of sight to your physical vision, but how can they go out of sight really if you keep tampering with them? You keep playing with their soul, playing with their name, playing with their remains. How are they out of sight, out of mind? And just because a person is out of sight, out of mind to you, the whole time they out of sight, out of mind to you, they on another person's mind the whole time, even though they're out of their sight. So I don't agree with that quote. That quote there is crazy. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, for every one person that says that or thinks that about a person, it might be 10 more people that, I mean, yeah, that person out my sight, they still on my mind, even if they passed on 20, 30, 40 years ago. Everybody don't jump to that conclusion like, well, out of sight, out of mind. No, we say things like in loving memory for a whole reason. We don't want them out of our mind. They might have been removed out of our sight or something because they passed on, but we say in loving memory for a whole reason. And it's like people want to be God on that level. Like, no, I'll erase him from you. What do you think the point of them? Some of these people dying unjustly is about. They swear that they're taking them away is taking away the memory of them. No, we stay in love and memory. We will continue to for a whole reason, not just memory, loving memory. What do you mean? And we're gonna keep the loving memories with us. You'll be surprised how many people passed on love and still carrying some of us today. And that's why we say in love and memory. What do you mean? And we say rest in peace because if you really wish that for somebody, why is there not higher security in the graveyards and stuff right now? I swear, and they need to take these prosecutions even more serious at this point. When people do that, you know, uh, just put themselves in the place of God like that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go play with the dead. I also was thinking how you have to be in a dark place. You have to be in a very dark place because them people really gone for you to be alive. Because I respect the dead and I pray for them, but I'm not gonna go out there and be playing in the graveyard and just trying to interrupt them in that way. It's weird. But I know we're all different, but I was just saying you gotta be in a dark place or something. Like be at the most low vibrational frequency there is to call yourself digging up people and you don't have any clearance to do that. This is crazy, bro. But we're not supposed to believe it's affiliated, tied to any type of related to like spiritual crimes. This is what you call spiritual crimes. They found over 100 different pieces of corpse and stuff in his house. That's not corpse. Let me say it right. Well, remains. That's just weird, bro. And of course, on the mug shot, he gives that vibe. He gives that energy. Like, yeah, I'm into the dark arts. Okay, some of the arts we practice, it don't hurt anybody at all. I promise. There's like so many ways, whether it's dark art, light art, I still don't understand that as an excuse. that you have to go mess with the people that's rested in peace to perform your art. Then you can no longer call it art. And I say that in a good way, in the name of the living and the dead. Since when did you make the dead your art? I mean, real remains your art. I don't agree with it personally. I just don't. Taking real like that topic I did the other day. They was like, oh, people donate those bodies for medical research. I don't think they should do that. You know, that's why I was speaking on that story, because come to find out, this lady walked in one of the museums. She hadn't gave no permission to donate her son's body. Her son had just went missing, type of deal. And she see him years later at a museum, like them type of stories. Like literally in a science anatomy, you know, one of those biology, not biology, but like an anatomy, uh, uh, some kind of museum where they actually used human real remains, you know, talking about under the name of education. Mm, mm, mm. I don't see nothing good coming out of that. I don't care how long people been doing it and how long they probably do it after I'm gone. Eventually, something good not gonna come out of that, bro. People need to leave the dead alone. That's crazy. They have carried their burdens, their pains, their joys, their tears. They're now gone. It's like, how much more can you do? And it's like they're trying to prove it. Yeah, we can do more. We can we can still call their souls. We can still get their bones. I mean, I don't know, unless they were living and said, yeah, I want you to do all of this to me. When I'm dead, you shouldn't. It's weird. That's what I'm trying to say. If they didn't tell you, yep, I want you to put every part of me in a jar, uh, do this to my bones, do this to my soul. I mean, why are you doing it? You don't expect. That's just against. I know it is. It's got to be against spiritual law. They've already complete their mission. Who told you to go dig up this, that, their DNA from their bones and all of this? And it's crazy. They do it with animals too. They can't even live their life completed and just rest. What's wrong with people? Then you got more people talking about they're not getting sleep. And I don't think, and oh, that's what I was saying about people improperly using scriptures. They'll be like, well, ain't no rest for the wicked every time somebody said they ain't got no sleep. Mm. Or it could be a sign that the dead is speaking. Y'all ain't finna get no sleep. Y'all ain't been letting people rest. And then what are the other people speaking up and doing about it? When you see these news stories of people being caught with remains in their house and being caught digging up people in the graveyard, oh, people just carry on like it ain't going on. But now everybody's saying, well, maybe it's the shifts in the atmosphere. No, I'm just giving my opinion. They said maybe it's the shifts, maybe it's the climate change. But we all do notice this: people's sleep patterns been off. And I don't think people should have to feel ashamed about it or be quiet because somebody gonna tell them ain't no rest for the wicked. That scripture is reserved, number one, for the righteous. The ones that stand on God, like how you gonna take bits and pieces of the Bible, but the rest of your life, you're not trying to please God, you're pleasing yourself. But you want to use his word and tell people when they try to confide in you, they ain't getting no rest. That's the only thing you think of. Oh, well, you know what the Bible says, ain't no rest for the wicked. That don't it does apply to everybody. It does. So we do need to pay attention. You see, but it's mainly for the righteous to stand on. Like, yeah, of course, if you're raising up against the righteous, ain't no rest for you. What do you mean? But people just use that scripture loosely to me or something. No, if you see more and more people on a mass level saying they're having sleep pattern issues and weird dreams, and I mean, who knows what's behind it? But I would say there's something spiritual. It's something bigger than us. People say they just suddenly waking up in the middle of the night, not getting as much sleep, feeling tired and sick. Come on now. Well, how have you been treating the dead? But we supposed to care about what you're going through. It's crazy, man. When I say we, I don't know. I'm referencing the angels, God, us that care. We're supposed to care, but I don't know. It just don't. And if this is just this much, imagine how much more. If people can't learn to leave the dead alone, All those public executions, public gang stalking, public all this, that stuff should be reserved for people that do that. To me, if you want to take it there and make it serious, because they need to understand that leave the dead alone. Why should you be out here living some luxurious life and you're disturbing the dead all the time? It just seems to make sense. And you think you're gonna carry out all the days and long years of your life happy. You won't let them rest in peace. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But that's okay. I hope if I get to say nothing else in defense of the dead that I've said enough. And that's just crazy. Like I don't have to be dead yet to see it, you know? Um that mankind has kind of fell a little away from God, man, to not see how that's wrong. In any culture or part of the world that's going on. You say, well, we've gotten so weak, we depend on the dead for strength. How you gonna do that, man? I mean, there has to be balance somewhere. You just gonna drain all the dead for everything they got? Come on, man. Mm-mm. It's just something about that it's not sitting right with me. You can only depend on the dead for so much. Apparently, seriously, like think about it. They want to just control what death is, something that's been here. Really, we're not even supposed to know death. That's why I'm like, sometimes I just try to speak on these topics on a logical level, kind of keep religion and spirituality out of it, but it's kind of no way around it. When you're talking about death, something they've been trying to figure out for a very long time. And I mean, in all kind of cultures and countries, they want to know what's on the other side, what happens, what's going to come next. You know, they've been studying this for a very long time, but they should have been studying it enough to know that death is some kind of spiritual transition. It's something bigger than us. Even birth, they want to control that. Who have who with who raises who ain't there for who lives in whose household. I'm sick of it sometimes with who we are, like secondhand embarrassment on earth right now with some of I'm like, I'm not one of those that further areas. If they heard, it's like, is there somebody else to talk to? Because this is crazy. I heard somebody just doing a topic on it. Like, yeah, it seems like they trying to normalize the craziest stuff today. And if you and it's true. And if you even use 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds to overlook it, it's like that's how quick it happens when somebody has a whole agenda to normalize this type of stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. You just can't never convince me that that's right. Like, I guess under the name of science and research, it's okay here and there, but did you get that permission, that person's permission before they died to be all up in their grill like that? And you know if they're not respecting the dead, how much can you expect from people when you're alive? Once again, I just did a quote. It said, uh, disappointment in my eyes is an illusion at this point. Disappointment only comes when you actually expected people to be like bigger and gooder and better than God to you. You're gonna be disappointed every time. Trying to look at humans as more than what they are. You only get disappointed when you expect it. Do anybody feel me? When you expect it, like when you get out of that mindset, they can see you struggling with a mindset here and a mindset there, and that's okay. But when it comes to this mindset and disappointment, I'll probably get more angry, but I wouldn't say. And then that anger, that's why I don't even sit long. It comes and goes because it's like you're the fool. You're the fool to sit there and expect people to like actually be a good God to you. It's crazy when there's one good God. There's only one. It was already written long before any of us that are living right now was here. It was already written. There's one Most High, one good God. I mean, and He's literally known for this. How many of us they look at it upon us today and say that's a good person? I don't care how good they say any one of us is. We'll never be gooder than God. It's people walking around like, oh, I got good sex. And if they tell me that, it's crazy. Like, it'll never be gooder than God. I can experience it 20, 30, 40, 50 times over. I'm a witness. Ain't nobody sex gooder than God. Ain't nobody relationship gooder than God. Ain't nobody money gooder than God. Ain't nobody family gooder than God. Shall I keep going? Ain't no business, organization, culture, country gooder than God. But let them continue to stand in the race. It's crazy. Like, let them continue to compete. Though the Bible already said it. Save us a whole lot of time. Like, hey, nobody will ever be good than God. Now I can't remember exactly which scripture it was, but I think it's Isaiah 2:22 or 20:22. God gives instruction. He's like, look, let me save y'all some time. Do not trust in man with nostrils. I don't even know why the nostrils word is in there, but I'm not here to question God and what he said. Just let me save you some time, some heartache, some disappointment. You can love them, the same God that told you to love thy neighbor, love thy enemies. They don't mean be, you know what I'm saying? Just allow any and everything because love is like, it is an action word. That's something that you feel. Love your enemies. I know they wish you hell. I know they wish you hate and despair. I know they they hate your guts. Love them. Because guess what? You know why I think God told people that? He already know what he said is true. They can never do you like me. I'm God. Why you think people end up giving God the praise, God the glory, God the reverence for something in their life? Oh, they're just religious nuts, huh? Or did they witness this already? They said, God, I looked high and low. It's a song by that man Vashawn Mitchell. They say nobody greater. If you wanna hear the song, just go look it up real quick. It's called Nobody Greater. And it's like a good example of what I was trying to say. The man just sings his song saying, look, I looked high and low. He said he looked in the mountains, he looked in the woods. That man said he went all over and he still couldn't find nobody greater than God. And it's crazy. All they can try to show you is the greatest material things of the earth. And most of those things man didn't make. The things that are man made, they're nice. But what, ask yourself, what did they make the man made things out of? I bet you it's going to go back to the things that God made that man didn't create. All they can do is try to make a clone of all of this stuff. Pay attention. Oh, well, yeah, trees were here since the beginning of time. We can make a tree. We can make an artificial tree. We can make an artificial baby. We can make an artificial womb. We can make an artificial piece of meat. Like, come on, man. And this artificial stuff, let me get this right. This artificial stuff is supposed to at what point be gooder than God? Not even AI technology. No level of technology would be gooder than God. But you can't say God is good, that man has free will. They get to create these things and woo 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 woo. It's like we gotta stay focused here. It's still never good or better than God. You see? Most of the man-made creations is always just a copy, a carbon copy of something of what was already created. Like cotton, they make clothes out of it. But okay, where did cotton come from? It was a natural resource. It was a natural resource. Man didn't make natural resources, and they never will. You see what I'm saying? It's all an illusion. Man didn't make natural resources. They never will. But you can like make something close to it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And that's what I keep my faith and hope in, you know? Uh, so I just thought I would share like my opinion or perception and commentary to the story because I said the story, the man, of course I'm mad at him. I don't know what he's going through, but it was actually more news stories of people being caught in graveyards doing weird stuff and uh being caught with actual remains in their house of people we don't know if they knew them or not, but yeah, people they weren't related to, they had no business with their remains. And everybody thought they was gonna get away with this in the name of science. See, now you disrespecting science. They done got away with so much under the name of science, bro. And people still glorify science. I'll only be grateful for it to an extent. Because it's like, what is science? You're just studying what was already here. Is it science or is it knowledge? You feel me? Is it science or is it knowledge? Because all we can do is study what was already here. And had they not studied that, that's why I'll never give more glory to AI or anything artificial than I do God. If it wasn't already here, you wouldn't even have the ideas of your new creations. What do you mean? You studied the natural resources first. You studied the natural creatures, the history of the natural anatomies of what was already here. That's how you can do. Now you studied it so much, you know it like the back of your hand, or so they think. So what do? Well, I'm gonna make the same thing. That's weird. So we want an artificial in the new world. You mean to tell me it's gonna be more artificial than this one? I don't know. I'm just trying to understand and keep up. It seems like it's going that way. The food gonna be fake. The people gonna be fake. The people's identities will be fake. Literally, this is like it seems to be the devil's goal. Everything on TV will be fake. Look how everybody just slowly. I'm not saying everybody, but you can tell that that seems to be the agenda. Because what's wrong with what's natural? What's wrong with what's original? What's wrong with the way the earth came? In a big, pretty Bowen package. It wasn't until they tried to start mixing so many sciences together, in my opinion, that uh, it's just so much chaos, so much confusion. Because you have to mix so many levels of science all the time to find out what and for what, right? It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But I know one thing, that part needs to stop. Like, leave the dead alone, bro. Bros, ladies, sisters, brothers. This is crazy. But then, if it was that easy to just tell people that, I don't know, man, because they don't always just live the living alone, and it's just sad. You can't trust a person to leave the dead alone. It won't leave the living alone. That's crazy. I'm just trying to make it make sense. Come on, man. Like, I don't mean to sound like weird or dark or witchy or none of it. To say that I do pray for the dead. You don't know what them people went through, what led to the causes. They just write what they want the cause to say on the paper. Every every little report in the hospital with the bodies and stuff, I'm sure they had to write somewhere. It's three magical words: cause of death. And that's where the devil is trying to play with people if you really pay attention. Because just because you write that on the paper, we all know that doesn't mean that's what it was. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't want to be no parts of it, God. Like people playing with the dead in that way. It's stupid. When I say stupid, it's actually one of the dumbest things. And then you're masking it under the name of science. I mean, if you're gonna do that, make sure you're getting people's consent with what you're doing with their remains when they pass on. Because as you see, people been more and more on TikTok and on the internet and social media saying they've been getting less sleep. I'm not playing. It's scary. And people's like, well, that's it must have been something they did. Y'all gonna forever blame the people, huh? The people is not the ones sitting around doing science experiments every day, trying to figure out how to get to the next galaxy and how to clone wombs and stuff. No, that's not the people. Those are way higher scientific people than us. Anyways, I do feel like just like with COVID-19, right? Like some people never caught it or with any sickness, sometimes you can catch a whiff, or sometimes you can be exposed, but that does not mean that you like it hit you like it should have. Okay, it's the same thing with the repercussions of playing with the dead. Maybe some of us are feeling a whiff, a drift, a wave, right? but it's not hitting you because you weren't the one directly out there playing in graveyards and dirt and messing with the dead like that. So that's just my theory of why things have been looking like that. Time seems to get shorter every day. Time seems to get shorter every year. Daylight tech savings time seems to be taking more and more. Though it says we're saving, when you're saving, it's gonna show. But no, it's looking like lost. Like it's literally shorter days at this point, and people still don't think that means something. It's like, no, we gotta leave the dead alone, man. It's crazy. They've already done all they can do. Why do you think they're not here anymore? And it's like, are you really saying it? Like, well, I'm gonna swap. Uh, I need the energy. What do you mean you need the energy of the dead? They're dead. I mean, once again, I'm not into pseudosciences or metaphysics. None of that. Maybe that's why I have so many questions. But even if they were to answer those questions, I just don't see how that's right. You know, I don't see how that's right. Like, there's no other way. And it's crazy. Just, I know everybody loves the advancements in society and everything, from technology to medicines and all of this stuff. But you do know it was always at the cost of somebody or somebody's, literally. Like, there was no new finding without somebody or something being experimented on. Literally. Everybody loves the convenience of advancements. Pay attention. Everybody loves when a new iPhone comes out. Everybody loves when internet upgrades from 4G to 5G. Everybody loves when you see what I'm saying? But are we thinking about, okay, well, what did they how did they come up with this advancement? How did they come up with this new medicine? How many people did they have to experiment on? Did those people die? Did those people even agree to the experiments? You see, then you say, well, I've never done any rituals or did anything dark. You kind of have if you don't know how. You're just using certain advancements, not knowing what it costs people, what it costed somebody or somebody's or something. Like I said, I'm right here, baby. Hmm. I was just saying we should think about that a little more. There's your cup. You want this cup or you want? Thank you. I'll put it right here. Oh, boy, boy, boy. It's just crazy, man. Really crazy. Okay, so um, I don't have to lie. Like I wouldn't even lie about something like that. Clearly, the dead would hear me, but I do pray for them, and it just it never ceases to amaze me. Like I don't know. I guess a prayer warrior is a prayer warrior, and they like, well, if I was her, I wouldn't be praying for the dead. I would be praying for $1 million if I knew God answered my prayers. And that's what's crazy. That's what exposes the heart. Even King Solomon didn't do that. He could have asked for $1 million, but you see how God blessed him. But he just prayed for wisdom. Out of all the things in the heaven, the earth, and hell, he could have prayed for. All the things in the universe, just wisdom. And that's exactly why he was blessed. And I'm not saying I'm trying to be like King Solomon. What I'm saying is, yeah, I don't know. I pray about what's real. Because guess what? It might be 500 centuries before a person born again that'll do it. You see, it might be 3,000 years before the next seed is born that says, I'm going to pray for a cause that nobody ever prayed. I'm going to pray in areas that maybe we need more people praying in, right? So I'm not better than nobody. I'm not too good to pray or just pray for selfish things. That's what's wrong with everybody, in my opinion. You got too many people only manifesting their own personal things. What do you mean, let's be one and let's be unified? How do you do that? Everybody only concerned about themselves. See, prayer is one of those things you can do, and a person can be 20,000 miles from you. So, yes, you can be unified at a distance. What do you mean? I'm sure people doing that anyway for the wrong reasons too. So why people can't be praying for better causes from a distance? Okay, you got people be from a distance doing the wrong thing. Why you can't pray from a distance? You ain't got to be right in people's face in the same room with them. He said, if two or three gather in my name, it shall be done. It means whatever the request. But that don't mean if you all alone and you don't have nobody, that might be what makes your prayers a little more potent. God knows you're walking alone. God knows you're more in a isolated place, right? So that's a place that He can use us and stuff too. But I don't know. I'm like all over the place with this topic, but I hope I'm giving just a little more insight. We call these insightful topics and relatable stories. Once again, not every story will be relatable to all of us. Just like this one on the news about this, even that cop that was giving his statement was just like in all his years of his career, he had never seen it like that. But that don't mean there weren't other cops that had. You see, just like in the medical field, I said, I wish I could talk to more doctors and nurses because I know before I even interviewed them, they have seen some stuff that kind of like surpassed science that they still can't explain. Because I've already seen a few stories on the internet about it where they like, yeah, this man died on the operating table and then he came back. You know, how do you expect a doctor to explain it? When the doctor told him you got 6 weeks to live, but the man lived 6 more years. They don't be having an answer for that type of stuff. When the doctor tell him if this bullet would have penetrated you 2 more millimeters, not centimeters, y'all, not inches, millimeters. They see stuff like this on a daily, right? Or just throughout their careers. So I do respect, it don't matter how many the devil try to use in certain leadership positions to do stupid stuff. There's still good people in the fields and careers that they work in that just want to make their paycheck and help people. What do you mean? And I'm sure they wouldn't mind sharing their stories. Like, yes, through my career, I have seen this, I have seen that. But we really only listen to cops when they say it. And I don't know why. Like, I mean, because people believe cops, like, yeah, you probably seen some crazy stuff. But you know what? Another profession of people that probably seen crazy stuff is doctors and nurses all day long. Hospital staff. Some hospital staff have talked about how they seen ghosts walking down the hall. They probably just didn't want to talk about it publicly. Like, some of this stuff has been caught on footage. And people believe this is before AI. For those that say, oh, it's so hard to get clarity now because AI is clouding everything. Oh, well, just go back to the videos before AI was here. They still here. They still out there. Ain't nobody that confused. Go back to all the videos because AI, as much as everybody talk about it, as controversial as it is, all I have to say about it that I'm paying attention to right now, anything that had a timestamp of when it came out can still be compared. Like, hopefully, I'm trying to find the words. Like, it hasn't been out that long. Okay, maybe you had stuff like Photoshop, all that before these other AI apps, but anything like you can say, okay, this came out in 2021. This came out in 2017. This came out the first cell phone came out in 1998. Anything you can time stamp like that, you can go back before that time. And then that's how you get back in touch with reality. Period. End of the discussion. Because I see a lot of people getting lost and caught up and confused due to AI tools and features and stuff. And I've been meaning to say that. Like, if you just get a little too clouded judgment because and you're blaming AI, that's going to be my advice for you. Sweetie, go back to the times. That's all you got to do. It's even the Bible even talk about that. And it's the simplest scripture. It says, "Go back and think on these things." When you get disencouraged or you can't find any strength, I mean, God actually, He's not saying hold on to the past. He's saying revisit the past when you need to. If you don't forgot how I came through before, if you don't forgot what this was like before this, just go back. It gives you permission. You got permission. You got self free will to do anything else. Well, go back and revisit the past when you need to. Does that mean stay stuck there? Oh, hell no. Because who does that? That's probably why them people can't seem to stay out of the graveyards. And I'm not talking about the ones that died. Go back and revisit the past. Sometimes people find strength there. But see, I don't know how to explain it. Yes, it's possible to find strength in your past. Why do you think we say in loving memory? It's just an example of what I mean. But even in your own life, when something seems so confusing or like, I just don't know what to do. You know how many times they saved me? No wonder they probably try to wipe people's memories and stuff. I just go back in my past and think about something, or revisit a time, or revisit a space, or revisit something somebody told me. You understand? Now, maybe they don't work for everybody. I don't know, but it is a whole advice given by the Bible too. Think on these things. Think on happy moments. Think of time you did have joy when you can't find joy or strength on those days, right? This is an inspirational post channel, so don't let it throw y'all off when I find it kind of coming out like that, trying to describe something. I was explaining to my daughter earlier how a part of the poet in me or something, I don't know what it is, but I have gotten really, really skilled at saying things without saying them. And I literally be using whole other words that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to say. And I said, well, maybe that's a gift. I don't know. But it does kind of tie into what I'm talking about. Like when you need to revisit the past, do it. It's okay. I'm just saying how it's not healthy to do it in a way where you're home stealing people's remains. How far in the past is you trying to go? Like science should have a limit. And as long as it doesn't, ain't no telling what I'll, it might even be too late for me to say that. But I'm just saying what's morally right. If you just hide everything under the name of science, karma might just come back through science. Because what was here before science? Just knowledge and what was already naturally here. You understand? People didn't have to do nothing extra. What they needed to till the land was already here. The seeds and everything already pollination, everything already do everything on its own. Have anybody paid attention to that? Nobody asked y'all to go make geo-engineered mosquitoes and birds and drones and stuff. But I mean, the stuff is here now. And they'll continue to do other funky stuff with these creations and call it under the name of science. I don't understand it. Anyways, I just don't want anybody, older or new generations, getting kind of like trapped in between timelines or trapped in between trying to catch up with advancements. Just go back and remember the days when you didn't have them. Who were you? What did you eat for breakfast before there was a toast maker? How did you make your toast? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. It's like go back to the times. How did you wash your clothes before there was washers and dryers? I'm so sick of people thinking everybody not gonna make it because they don't understand a little tiny piece of advancement. Does that mean don't try to? I guess no. Always try to advance your mind, but I wouldn't go crazy trying to keep up with the world's advancements. I can't do that when I know I have survived before without these advancements. The only way I can survive without your advancements is if you just advance everything, like so I have no choice to live natural anymore. I have no choice but to be artificial with everybody else. And that's crazy. That should be a choice to people. Create all the advancements you want, but don't say, well, you have to get this new advanced medical treatment. No, I don't. You can give me the old fashioned treatment. Because some people will still choose that path. But it doesn't become the popular path when everybody's used to convenience and advancements. That's what I'm saying. Now, it's not complicated, guys. Don't get trapped in the loophole here. It doesn't look like technology plans to stop advancing anytime soon. Now, I agree with that. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I'm saying I'm pretty much convinced of that. Maybe that's how I should have said it. Um, so we might as well think about this now. Before you know it, we might have robot dinosaurs. They might already have those. I mean, they do not plan on stopping these advancements. But to us, we think we're that special. They just want to advance things for us. It got to be some kind of purpose behind all of this. What are you guys trying to keep up with as scientists? Because there should be a limit. What are you trying to keep up with? What are you competing with, trying to keep up with, or protect yourself from? Because I'm talking about we've seen some mighty, mighty advancements lately in technology, in a lot of stuff. That's why I don't want to just say technology. That's crazy. There's been advancements in hair care products, all kind of stuff. People only used to could use what was outside, like coconut oil. You know that is natural. You can make coconut oil right outside. Go get a coconut. You got a farmland. Y'all get my point. Most products and things people use for their skin, teeth, hair, what we call hygiene today. And I really think like this. So I know you don't need a bathroom cabinet full of Pantene shampoos to survive. No, you do not. But people will try to present your case, your life, your lifestyle, like because you don't have a million bottles of Pantene, something's wrong with you. Some people still make their own hair products, or they just don't use a lot. Because what do you think people did for their hair before Arm and Hammer, Head and Shoulders was hair? That's my point. Go back and visit the past anytime, but don't abuse the past. Leave the dead alone. Don't abuse the past. That's just like you're. That's asking for the future to be abused. I just put it back on here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I made 33%. I made 33%. That's crazy how many threes I'm seeing. And then it's two viewers, one like, which equals three again. But it's okay. I'm on it. You see, I be on it on all levels. I pay attention. It's crazy. Uh, like in some cultures, 333 is a bad number. That's why I don't keep up with that kind of stuff no more. Four is bad luck in one culture, another culture. Four is the lucky number. Have anybody else noticed that? In some cultures, you know, the spiritual ram. I mean, spiritual animals mean different things too. Like the ram could be a sign of strength if that's your spiritual animal. In another culture, the ram shows that you're actually very weak, you know, and stuff like that. So it's really crazy, but I do feel that at the end of the day, I think I made my point clear with this topic overall. Boy, this topic, it's like this discussion was already burning in me. Uh, let's see more of it, right? Like even in a lot of music or industry work, it's just like people more glorify the dead these days, and not in a way like they literally look to the dead for faith, like they look to the dead for strength and all it is. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I just feel like it's a way that you can respect the dead. And then if you don't know how, just think about the ways you respect life. It'll tell you a lot. Course, if you don't respect life, you don't feel like you can do whatever to the day. It's just it goes both ways. It's like interchangeable at the end of the day. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live topic. We appreciate your support. Remember, you can like, share, or subscribe to any one of our live or previously recorded topics just like these. Whether it's just for reference or insight, whatever. But if y'all want to look into that news story yourself, it's on there. This happened in the state of Philadelphia just recently. It's bad just to find one person remains in the person's house, but they were saying they found all that. Crazy, man. Anyways, stay tuned for more topics just like these, and until next time.